What's up, everyone? This is Movie and Game Lover 98, and today I'll be doing a movie review on this Pixar movie that came out almost 9 years ago, back in 2013, and it's the prequel to Monsters Inc., but it came out later for some reason, and it's Monsters University. So, yep, let's get started, and I hope you guys like this movie review. So, yep, here's what my copy looks like. It's the Blu-ray version. Well, the history on Monsters University, it first came to theaters in the United States, well, on June 21st, 2013, and then it was released 4 months later onto four different formats. Kind of like I did in my Toy Story 3 movie review. That history, yep, four versions. You can get a single disc DVD, one disc Blu-ray and DVD set, or the Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital copy version, which is this one, or the 3D Blu-ray release. And I think it got released onto Blu-ray and 4K again in 2020, which was 2 years ago. So yep, that was the really short history. Now let's look at my copy, then we'll get in with the plot of this movie. So yep, here's what the front cover looks like. It's got the silver background, and you got all the members of Monsters University. Well, you have Mike and Sully in the center, as well as the other monsters. Yep, collector's edition says Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital copy, Disney and Pixar's Monsters University. Hilarious and heartwarming, says Chris Nashawati, however you say that, of Entertainment Weekly. Disney Blu-ray. Yep, here's the front. Here's one side careful picture of James P. Sullivan, which is interesting. This should be the other way. And the other side careful picture of Mike Wazowski, which this should be the other way, because that should have been the same way for Monsters, Inc. But anyway, here's the back cover. And you got some, sorry about that. You got some technical specifications, your bonus features on the discs, your blurb about the movie, and some screenshots from the movie. And you got the members of Uzma Kappa and Mike and Sully. Yep, technical specifications and cast down there, and there's your legalese down there. Yep, here's the actual Blu-ray case. Yes, it's the same one as you've got the standard, just one disc Blu-ray and DVD set, but I chose this one because it has more stuff inside. Oh, yep, here's the thing. There's a thing for digital copy, which I don't need right now. Here's the Blu-ray disc with the movie, which looks like the reissue, if you've seen it on the reissue Blu-ray from 2020, the regular Blu-ray. And you have Mike, Sully, Archie the Little Scared Pig, as well as the other members of Monsters University. Here's the Blu-ray disc with the bonus features, and you have Mike, Sully, as well as the other members of Uzma Kappa, as well as Archie the Little Scared Pig, and here's the DVD disc, which has Mike and Sully. So yep, let's get in with the plot of Monsters University. It basically takes place well before the events of Monsters, Inc., where during a field trip during Mike Wazowski's days in first grade, after going on a field trip to visit this Monsters Incorporated scare factory, which is used for, yes, giving screams to kids for their energy, and he dreams of becoming a scarer, and he decides to live his dream by going to this university called Monsters University, where he tries his hardest and eventually meets James P. Sullivan and, yes, this lizard named Randall Boggs. And they just have to do whatever they can to basically win the scare games, but eventually they get expelled and have to find some ways to live their own lives after getting expelled from Monsters University. So yep, that's the basic plot of Monsters University. So what do I think of this movie? I think it's one of the coolest Pixar films. Well, it's their only prequel they did when they were making just sequels. Well, because I think this was this was the only decade they were doing sequels. Well, this is technically the third one, because Toy Story 3 was the first one to kick off the 2010s decade where they're basically doing sequels. Or trilogy at that. And, well, That would be Cars 2 being the second one, and this one being the third one, but it's technically a prequel because it goes before the events of Monsters Inc. And the animation is superb. Even though I wish Monsters Inc. used this style of animation, because this should go before Monsters Inc. But I guess they didn't realize which order they didn't put them in, so I guess Pixar didn't really care. And yes, the voice cast does an amazing job. Some of the cast from Monsters Inc. does come back to voicing Mike, Sully, as well as Randall. That'd be Steve Buscemi to doing Randall again, and Billy Crystal, of course, as Mike Wazowski. And his other actor does an amazing job as young Michael Wazowski. And yes, John Goodman as James P. Sullivan. And yes, I think the music is superb. Kind of action parts as well. And other things as well, you could imagine. So yep, if I had to rank Monsters University, since I did love the original Monsters Inc. when I was a kid, I absolutely give it 5 out of 5 stars. Yes, I put it's in my top 10 list of favorite Pixar movies, because yes, like I said, Monsters Inc.'s my all-time favorite Pixar film, and this is going with the top 10 movies I like, because well, this is kind of like one of the ones I like in the 2010s decade, because they could have just released this as a sequel. But that's Pixar's decision. And yes, I like both this and Monsters Inc. But if I had to pick between this and Monsters Inc., definitely prefer Monsters Inc. just a little bit better, because I wish this one could have been released earlier and then released Monsters Inc. later, but like I said, that's Pixar's decision and I don't really care. So anyways, yep, that's going to be it for this movie review everyone on Monsters Inc., or Monsters University, excuse me. I already did Monsters Inc. What the hell am I talking about? Excuse me. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So yep, if I just say, if you haven't seen Monsters Universities, I'm going to say, yes, if you have not seen Monsters University, basically the prequel to Monsters Inc., I say give it a watch. I mean, yes, it's on Disney Plus if you guys have that app. But if you have it on Blu-ray like I do, that's totally okay. That's totally cool. So yep, that's going to be it for this movie review, everyone, on Monsters University. If you guys have not seen it, definitely give it a watch. But if you guys have seen it, that's cool. Because, a lot of people think they might like this better than Monsters Inc., but like I said, I like Monsters Inc. better than this movie. But I still like this movie nonetheless. Because I wanted to see another Monsters Inc. movie at that. So anyways, yep, that's going to be it for this movie review, everyone, on Monsters University. As I'm going to say, hopefully you guys liked this movie review, and hopefully stay tuned probably for another movie review coming up next. And hopefully it'll be on a really cool movie, and you'll see which one it's going to be on. So yep, stay tuned for that movie review coming up on that other movie coming up probably next.